Welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to say this before I start this video. You can replace parts all day long. It can be an actual issue as far as leakage in certain things in certain areas that might show that you're having an issue, and it could be possibly something else. The cooling system has so many different things. You have your thermostat, you have your water pump, you have your temperature sensor, you have your hoses. All these different things work in operation. So if you have a leak and it's a visual leak and you see it leaking from that area, that is the first place you automatically want to start from, is the actual leak. This vehicle, I did replace the water pump. You'll see that if you're watching this vehicle. I replaced the water pump, and the coolant reservoir started to boil over to where it was boiling to where the fluid was coming out. And usually if that happens, you have a bad head gasket. The slightest worst case scenario, they say it could be the coolant reservoir cap or the radiator cap. But if you have boiling in your coolant overspill / pressure tank, then you possibly have a bad head gasket. After making sure your thermostat is okay, your water pump is changed, you still got new fresh coolant, and yeah, you possibly have a blown head gasket. So hopefully you don't have that issue. I had a customer, and that was this specific vehicle, and they were disappointed, and I didn't find out till later on that they continuously drove the car even though it overheated, and they added coolant and water and stuff like that. But yeah, ended up having a blown head gasket. So unfortunately that was their issue, but hopefully this video just helps you remove yours. And this is just a show how and a teach, just showing people to do what it takes to replace these parts. I'm not liable for anybody's vehicle. This is just help. I just help people, and that's what God put in me for me to do. So let's get on with the video. What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Back with another video for you guys. 2013 Chevy Malibu 2.5 liter, getting ready to replace the water pump. That's what it's calling for. And the reason why I know it's calling for that, because I've been down there diagnosing, and you can see all the wet areas, hopefully. But yep, that's what we're getting ready to replace today. He's leaking, and we got a nice amount of water and everything around in there. All right, so let's get to it. You're going to need a 10 millimeter. You're going to need a ratchet to remove your serpentine belt. And yeah, it's pretty much all you're going to need so far. So be right back. Let's get started. All right, so we're back in there. I got my trim removal tool. You may or may not need one, and if you can't get to it over here, it's a 1/2 inch socket where you can put your ratchet in, but you may have to go in through the tire, take your tire off, go in through the plastic and get it through there. But we got that. We're going to remove the belt. Hopefully I can get a bungee to move it out the way. It's going towards the firewall, and that should be loose enough. Let's see. And let's come off. Right there. There we go. All right, so I got that out the way. Hopefully I can just use a bungee. Worst case scenario would be just it jumping off and having to put it back in this route, but this might work. Let's see if I can get it to hold itself in a good position. And that's where I got it, up there, right there. Okay. All right, so now that we got that off, we have 4 1 2 3 4 for the water pump. You're going to have to remove your clip right here for your O2 sensor. So let's squeeze that and pull that down. It's a little dusty. It might come right out, it might not. This one did. We have a zip tie right there. Let's go ahead and clamp that, get it out the way. All right, so we got that loose. We got 2 10 millimeters on both sides there. Remove this removal tool. Yeah, you have a 10 behind my light and a 10 over here, and you have one also under here. This one's missing, but yep, there we go. 10. Let's get those out of there. All right, so those are on the exhaust shield. I'm going to use a 6-point socket just to make sure everything's good. Hopefully they're not too rusty. They look pretty good. Got one here, break it free, and let's go over here. Probably couldn't shorten this up. All right, got one out. It's about 1 inch long like that. Let's get us another magnet tray up here. Let's get this in here for this guy. And I think it's hand tight now. So just go ahead and loosen it by hand. Yep. So you have 3 of these, but we only had 2 visible. And I wish there was some more magnetic spots. The hoods are either fiberglass or aluminum these days. So not too many places to have a lot of lighting. All right, we got those out the way. And let's go and pull this up. And let's get our oxygen sensor cable. Connect there and just kind of work it up. Might have to move this a little bit. There we go. All right, we got our shield out the way. Let's sit this on the ground. All right, so now you have your 4 bolts for your pump. And the one that's going to be the pain in the butt is the one I'm going to go to first, which is over here underneath. And you're going to have to go from this side over here all the way over. So you're going to probably need a 10-inch extension or longer. So let me get set up with my drain pan. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to get to this hard bolt first. So we're going to go in through this way. You can use a 12 point. It shouldn't be that tight unless it looks real brittle or something like that. But I'm going to use a 6 point. But the first time I got the 12 in, I went right in and it set right up. So let's see what this 6 does. And follow your finger up. And I'm on it again already. So let's go ahead and check our wrench. Let me see if I can leave it there for a second. No, I can't. Come back out. Let's do it again. And that's a blind bolt. Righty tighty, lefty loosey on the wrench. And they are 10 millimeters. Get my gloves out of there. And I just had you on there, little buddy. Alright, let's do it again. Alright, straight in. Just kind of fiddle around a little bit. You might go past it. And there it is. And let me hold this so I can back up. Alright, so this is a 10-inch extension. I already checked my wrench, righty tighty, lefty loosey. And it's not too tight, that's great. Alright, so this one, I'm just going to back it all the way out just because it's already loose. I know I can get those free if this one's free. Well, I'm going to wait. Let me come up here and just go all the way across again for the top one since I'm in here. And if we're blocking up against something, we'll try to work around it. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Let's break this one free too. You can get to this one on over there closer. But on here. Alright. That one's free. Alright, so you see how I'm going about that. I'm gonna come back over here on this side to give you a better view. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Alright. So I got those 2 on the back free. Got one under here. Let's just kind of move this around a little bit so we can see. And let's go for the low guy. We might have to use a 3-inch extension for that. Yeah, I can get to it. I should be able to get to it. All right, let's go ahead and shrink. Break that one free. I gotta check up the foot-pound rating for these guys. All right, so we got that one free. And we got one underneath. We could move this hose out the way to get to it, but I'm just gonna use a 10mm ratchet wrench. It should work. Hopefully this one's long enough. Set this up there for now. And let's see if we can get to it. That is connected in 2 spots. And we might release something. I'm not quite sure yet. Let's see. Let's move this connector out the way. And I wish my arm could just do a ninja move. Right down through there. Let's see if we can get to it. Nope, not quite. So let me do what I said I was gonna do. Let's get an extension. And I'm gonna use a 12-point socket for that, and a stubby maybe. Alright, so we got a 3. And we got a stubby. Make sure we're going loose. Hopefully I can get through there, right in here. Or I might have to come around on the back side. Let's see what we get. Up to get something right there. So it looks like I'm gonna have to get to that one from the back side as well. Let's play around and see. Wire harness is in my way. Alright, so let's see if I can go extension straight through. I think I can. Let's do a 6. Straight in with the socket. Let's see if we can get it on here. And looks like we're going to be able to touch it. So, since we're going to lose coolant anyway, let's disconnect this hose out the way. Somebody put 2 on there, 2 clamps. Not sure who or why. No, pretty sure it was leaking, so they did a double up, which is good. So, worst case scenario, we're gonna move this out the way. And once I move this out the way, I should have some room down in here. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Let me see if I can try something else real fast. Let's see if I can use a little bit longer tin to break this free from up here. Let me just light around. Sorry if I'm blocking the view. And we're able to get it on there. But no cranking room because of this neck. Just go up under it. And I might be able to get it with this flex head. So let me try that. You see where that screw is, and I'll let you know what I've done here in a second. All right, so let's remove this clamp. I'm still not able to get to it that way. So grab our clamp. And let's wiggle it back over this neck. Be able to twist it. Let's see if we can work it back. Yeah, there we go. Alright, this one is loose, but it might not be loose enough. So let me assist it with the screwdriver a little bit. Give me some extra room. And there we go. Tight on it a little bit again. There we go. Now, if you get coolant on your belt, just use some brake parts cleaner to clean it off. You don't want coolant on your belt. All right, hopefully I can get to that screw now. Yep, should be able to get this 10mm in there now. Hold it from the back side with my thumb. That's gonna be the tedious one going back in. And I think it's pretty loose.
And switch hands. Alright, so we got him loose, still tight. Let me get one of these little stubby ratchets. I forgot about those guys that I bought. Be right back. Alright, let's try this stubby out. Support it. Should be pretty loose. I just need some spin roll. Okay, go from there. Is that a connector? Let's disconnect that too. So we can have some more room in the connector. It's a push and pull. Push it in and pull it down. If I can get my thumb on it good or finger somewhere. Definitely just be careful while you're trying to push it in. It's not coming for me. Just move the light. Yep. Push it in, pull down style. It connects to the thermostat. Assist it with the screwdriver a little. Clip this up. All right, let me get the screwdriver and just kind of push on it while I'm pulling. All right, got it. There we go. All right, so now we got a little more wiggle room. And let's see if I can get to it now with my fingers. Barely, but it's loose enough. Let's see if we move this hose too. Worst case scenario, I'll have to go in with a socket. Might be able to get it from this side now. Yep, there we go. Should be loose enough. Come on, baby, don't tighten up. Trying to tighten up a little on me. But I think I'm good. And the new pump does come with new bolts. Just to let you know, you can use those or you don't have to. So I'm still turning this guy. All right, got it out. All right, let's proceed on getting everybody else out. And my music won't continue playing. Let's make it play. All right, rest of these guys up and out of here. This one hopefully loose enough. Not quite. Let's get this butt head out in the back. But yeah, you want to make sure everybody breaks free before you proceed. And let's see, we're in there. And this is where I'm using my 12 point. And antifreeze is very slippery, just like oil. All right, spin this guy up and out. All right, so that one should be loose enough for me to spin out now. Let's see. Yep. All right. And we got two. Those is to the exhaust. There we go. Not quite. Let me get the longer extension. And wipe some of this antifreeze off. Let's go back in. And still not quite loose enough. Grab the stubby. There's the more water coming. And I got my pan in the perfect spot today. Alright, we should be able to get it by hand now. Swivel that off. Alright, now I'm there. I'm gonna get a magnet just in case so I don't drop it. There we go. One more. And hopefully he's loose enough. Actually, I can just come with the ratchet now. But yeah, it's good to have various tools. Haven't had to use these stubbies yet, but they ain't coming in handy. Alright, so it's pretty loose. I'm going to support the water pump now. I'm trying to twist it by hand. And just kind of wiggle at it. Actually, start loosening up the bolts. Over the bolt. Just kind of wiggling. Could keep my socket on there. There we go. It was close. Hopefully I got enough room down there in my pan. Alright. So definitely use your new screws. You don't have to. But this one's kind of old, so use your new screws. And make sure my pan is good. Alright, we're good down in the pan area. Let's go ahead and wiggle this pump on up and out. Alright, this is the water pump. Okay, so let's go over to the bench and cover this up and let's match it up real quick. Alright, so I was going to go over to the bench, but instead of getting coolant everywhere, figured we could do it on the ground and check on everything. Got our new door last pump. Let's match it up. Bam. Everything looks good so far. And this one, the gasket failed. The pump still feels pretty good. The gasket failed. This one has a lot more tension on it, but yeah, the gasket is where it was leaking. I can see the cracks and stuff in the gasket here. So water pump's the same. Everything looks beautiful. So we're gonna move this guy to the side for now and show you what you're gonna have to do inside. So I usually use brake parts cleaner. So I'm gonna go back in here and hit all that with brake parts cleaner. I'm gonna use this little guy on the side. I'm gonna hit all that with brake parts cleaner, clean it up. But you want it to quit dripping. You want it to be very dry right there when you go back in with your new gasket and everything. So yep, we'll probably do a reversal video, but well, installation video, but just wanted to show how to remove it. 2013 Chevy Malibu 2.4 liter, 2.5 liter. My apologies. All right, so let's put it back in since we got it out. You're gonna take some brake parts cleaner and you're gonna hit all around there. What I did also, I jacked the driver's side up to help it drain this way, so it'll be, the level will be below the water pump area. So got that all cleaned off. You want it nice and dry. Make sure there's no grease on or anything. And then we're gonna add our gasket to the new pump. Let's clean all this up and around, even on the inside a little bit. But yeah, you want that level to be down, otherwise it's gonna keep draining and you might have to wait for nice little amount of time. But we want to make sure we're clear from any wetness. And we're looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and start transferring from the old pump. And you definitely want to match up your parts. I did not show the parts number, so I'm going to do that now. All right, so this is the parts number for the new pump. Duralast. Says they have a lifetime warranty on it. So let's get this gasket on there. Do not get any grease on this. It may not hurt away from the gasket or anything, but definitely don't want any. So it comes with new screws. We're going to use those as well. You get 4 of those, 10 millimeters. And let's just put them in the tray. Alright, so this is going to be the tedious part, which is getting it back in. Alright, so we got our gasket. Let's go ahead and set it up. And get it to bite down in there in the grooves real good. And I need to look up, I'm going to get this in, then I'm going to have to look up the torque specs on how tight this is supposed to be. But you want to make sure it's set all the way around. And make sure we're still clear in there. Hit it one more time with some brake parts cleaner. I'm just going to do a wipe this time. All right, that's pretty darn clean. All right, so I'll look up the torque specs in a bit, but let's get this tedious pump on in here as far as the bolts areas. Okay, so our fin, it goes in the back. And we'll get it in its spot. That. And line it up. Okay, so let me get one screw started up here. And I'm gonna try to get it in there enough to hold it for me. And it's working out. But yeah, definitely use your new screws because this is a new pump. It has new threads and everything. So now I'm going to go with the bottom right. It's going to be the tedious one. And it's good to have extra screws in case you drop one. And let me find my 6-point. We got our 6-point. And if I need to, I'll put something on here. But you pretty much can guide it back there with your finger all the way through. And just kind of feel for the hole. There we go. It should slide in if I'm on the right spot. Let's see. I think I am. Still check. And there we are. Let's see if this thing starts to shrink for me. It'll definitely tell me if it's in the right spot, if it's shrinking. Let's see if we're in there. Who can't see? Not gonna be able to see it. And are we shrinking? There we go. No, we wasn't all the way in there. Reposition. And this is the tedious one. But you wanna do what I did. One at the bottom, one at the top. Kind of hold it. And I'm gonna tighten this by hand as much as I can. And hopefully it'll go all the way back. And this will set the water pump, and then I'll look up the torque ratings. Not sure if I can get a torque wrench in the front. Well, more likely than not. Oops, slipped off. But it's holding. Get it back on. Alright. Let's go back up top. Let's keep going by hand. And as far as we're going by hand, so let's see if I can twist it. these fingers. Okay, it's holding the spot. We'll continue the tightening process here in a moment. Let me get the other two in, which is top bottom. Let's get my extension again. See if we can go in with it, holding it in this spot. Maybe not. Let's come over here and start guiding it in. Trying to tilt my bar. And there we are. As much as we can by hand. Alright. Gotta make sure the music is copywritten these days. And we'll get this one in. We got the one at the bottom. And then we'll be good. On the install, then you're gonna have to bleed your coolant system. And I like the way it's pulling everybody in right now. Alright. Let's go get this one in over here at the bottom. After I do that one down there, this is the installation. So, and then you're done. After you bleed your cooling system, you'll be okay. So that process takes about 10 to maybe 30 minutes, maybe longer, depending on how it wants to be bled. But yeah, you're gonna put your serpentine belt back on. I did show the parts number, so hopefully this helps you out on the installation. I might as well just add this with the removal as well, because it's only about 8 minutes longer. And after I get this in, get my belt on and start the cooling process. So hopefully this helps you out. Hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe if you want to. Always remember, rust is the enemy on these things, causes us to work so hard. So until the next video, guys, hope this helps.